What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Good morning, everybody. How y'all feeling? How you feeling? Guess who I have here? I'm so excited. I don't know what to do. If you are just tuning in, my name's Glenn P. Brooks Jr. This right here is
the lovely, the talented, the wonderful Sheri Brooks Jr., author, speaker, relationship, and life balance coach. And it is great to be back with you guys again.
Guys, listen very quickly. Today, I want you guys to hear this very clearly. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are building business, if you're trying to go to the next level with your significant other and you're trying to figure out how in the world do we do that without killing each other and without losing our family in the process, today we're going to help you in the area of serving, leading, and building with each other. Again, welcome to Breakfast with the Brookses. I'm Glenn P. Brooks Jr. On day six, guys, we don't have coffee today because we are cleansing. And I'm telling you right now, I can't lie. I have had some coffee, right? But let me tell you what I'm telling you. Let me tell you what I'm telling you.
Let me tell you what I'm telling you.
Yeah, in case you don't know, let me tell you what I'm telling you. This detox that we on right now is pushing everything up and out. I know that's too much information, but I just want to let y'all know, listen, guys, we are getting it. We are getting it. Good morning, Tiara.
Hey, Karen.
Good morning, Linwood. What's going on? Shout out to the MAPS family. Yeah. For those of you all who don't know, Sheri and I created an online relationship academy. It's called MAPS, Marriages and Parenting.
Marriages and Parenting Successfully.
I was trying to get it out so that you could tell them what it was.
Okay. It's Marriages and Parenting Successfully. It's a community that we created online where individuals who are striving to empower,
It's been 3 weeks since you've been on here. Marriages and Parenting Successfully is a group that we both created, guys, specifically to do one thing, and that is to grow people's ability to do relationships on a very healthy level, to connect, particularly if you are trying to do it in the area of your marriage and or your parenting.
Right. It's a place where we help you develop your parenting skills, your relationship skills, and be able to be in a community with other people who are on the same track.
And they also are growing their skills.
Healthy relationship.
Sheri, let me say why I keep going back and forth over that, saying that over and over again. A lot of people think that their relationship is jacked up because there's a lack of love. Their relationships are coming unglued because we don't love each other. Well, I need to learn how to love her more.
Love ain't got nothing to do with it.
Please say that again.
Love don't have nothing to do with it.
You can love
a person as we say, I love you to death. You can love a person, but if you don't have the skills to have a successful relationship, love is not enough alone.
Absolutely.
Because it takes skill to have relationship. You think about in your professional career, there are certain skills that you have to be able to grow in your career, to advance in your career. The same thing is true in relationship. There are skills that you need when you're dealing with another person, when you're dealing with other people, especially when you bring little minions, little children into the equation, when you got all these different personalities, all these different characteristics of these different people, it takes skill to be able to navigate through that.
It does.
It doesn't just come, you don't just naturally know how to interact with other people in a healthy way.
Right.
We often replicate what it is that we learned growing up. And oftentimes that wasn't the most healthy environment. For some of us, it was. Well, for some of you,
some of you, it wasn't for us.
It may have been. But for most people, there were some areas that there were some disconnects. And in order to have a successful relationship, you need to learn those skills so that you can grow in your relationship and have a healthy, functional relationship.
Absolutely. So if you guys want to know more on how you can become a part of our MAPS community, guys, we have 4 separate group coaching environments. We invite people to be a part of the married people or couples meet on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. The parents meet on Tuesday evenings at 8:30 p.m. The ladies meet the first and third Thursdays of every month. And the fellas, we meet every Sunday evening. When you're a part of that community, you get the replays as a part of your deal so that in case you can't show up live, you can be a part of the process and you can get what needs to be done. Go to thecrcoach.com, www.thecrcoach.com. And if you want to connect with us and check out any of our replays, things that we've done, particularly old Breakfast with the Brookses, different speaking engagements, want you to go ahead and visit. Please subscribe, guys, to youtube.com / the CR Coach. I am not. Look, I have to get used to our rhythm again. I feel awkward in a sense.
I'm sorry.
You got energy. I got energy. I don't feel like are we balanced this morning, guys? I don't know. So I'm trying to figure it out. It's been a couple of weeks since Sheri has been with us.
Right. And I just want
Go ahead.
Speak on that real quick. I know that I've been missing in action the last couple of weeks. I had been struggling with really bad migraines. Actually, been out for about 3 weeks now. Been on battery of medications. It doesn't appear to be anything serious. It has to do with my sleep deprivation. I suffer from sleep apnea. And so things are making a turn. One thing I do believe, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical expert at all. And, thanks to my doctors, my team, neurologists, and all my other doctors, I have always been the type of person, I believe in holistic treatment more than I believe in medicinal treatments. And I believe that us starting this cleanse actually has helped me.
Wow.
It's gotten all of the medication out of my system and has cleansed my body, whereas it can function properly.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't until we started to cleanse that I really started feeling better.
Wow.
And so
we're on day 6, guys. If y'all are not on it, God bless America and nobody else, as Chris Rock would say.
I'm just glad to be back.
Yes, we really, really want to. So, babe, we're going to get into this thing really quickly. First of all, before we get started, guys, I want everybody to do me a huge favor. Tag somebody, particularly if they are married, particularly if they're dating and or they are an entrepreneur. A lot of times, babe, when people, and it doesn't have to be a person who's necessarily a full-time entrepreneur. I'm talking about people with an entrepreneur mindset. They're always building, growing, developing. They see things. They're visionaries. And oftentimes, babe, it really becomes very difficult for them to focus on how to, and we put it this way, how to serve, how to lead, and how to build with their spouse or their significant other. It becomes challenges. Talk to us a little bit. I know our process is a little unique and how we've done what we've done. When you and I met almost 20 years ago, we met working an event.
Right.
Like literally, I met you because of an event that I had put together and some things that I was doing. Mm-hmm. And we sort of started off in a building mode, like as individuals. And so I don't know if that caused us to, cheat the system in a sense, or if we had an advantage or whatever. Right. But a lot of people are really struggling in this area and they don't know how to serve each other.
Right. Well, one thing that I think is key when we talk about serving, being able to serve your partner, serve your mate, is that oftentimes when we get in relationships, you get in relationships because you like each other.
Yep.
You're attracted to each other. And you have your separate careers, you have your separate things. And we often talk about people having shared values.
Yeah.
And I think that that's essential, in that even in marriage, you have to realize that this is a partnership and that you have to be able to work together.
Right.
Now, whether that's working together professionally.
Yep.
In your own business or just working together in your household, you have to be able to learn how to work together. Mm-hmm. And so just how you serve your boss at work, how you're able to submit to authority, how you're able to follow, how you're able to lead. You may change roles periodically. One may be leading at one point in time. The other may be leading in another point in time. So let's take this outside of marriage for a minute and say we worked in corporate America.
Yeah.
And I was Glenn's boss. Mm-hmm. I'm a woman. He's a man. He would be able to follow me. He would be able to follow my leadership because I'm the expert in this area. I have more experience. I have more knowledge in this particular area. So he would be able to respect that knowledge that I have, respect the position that I have, and he'd be able to follow me. But in marriage, what happens is that we don't respect the knowledge of our spouse that they may have in a certain area. And so that causes us not to be able to follow them. And therefore we can't serve them because there's a disconnect, because we look at them as simply as our spouse and not as a partner. Yeah.
But guys, listen, on the front end, I want you guys, if you have questions in this area, if you have a specific scenario that you've gone through as a couple trying to build together and you are trying to figure it out, I want you to ask those questions. I'm going to turn this. I just had the idea. I want to make this about you guys. I don't want this to be just about us. If you're in a relationship with a person, one of you guys are an entrepreneur. Maybe you're really, really driven in the corporate sector. I'm not sure if you're a supervisor, if you're running a department, but your spouse is a person who maybe they're not on that page, or maybe they are, and you guys are on completely different pages. I want you to give us your questions, things that you're struggling with, because I want to help you. Here's what I am completely resolved to believe, and that's distracting me a little bit, just a little bit. I'm completely resolved on this, babe. You said something significant. The inability for me to respect what you bring to the table will render me not able to be led by you.
Right.
And I want that to breathe for a second. You don't have a marriage problem.
Right.
You don't have a parenting problem. You have a leadership problem. And I need y'all to, I just need that to settle for a second. Mm-hmm. Here's the challenge. And I'm going to give you a very quick story. When I was in the military, I had a squad leader who personally, I thought he was out to get me. You understand? I thought he didn't like me. He wanted to see me fail for a bunch of reasons. And I did not like him very much at all. Under a circumstance like that, where you're in the military, you can't quit. So I realized, you know what, I'm gonna have to work with this guy. Here's the thing that turned the tide for me, babe. When I recognized that Sergeant Hansen was not on me because he didn't like me, he was on me because his job, his responsibility, I was a combat engineer. His responsibility was to save my neck in war. Mm-hmm. That was his job. His job was to make sure his troops were good, that we were able to accomplish the objective, and that he would save our lives, right? So he governed himself accordingly in our relationship. And then that's when it dawned on me. I may not like him, but man, do I respect him, because he was about his job. He was about his business. He was about making sure that we were good. Here's what I want to help you guys understand. The day I recognized that he was not my enemy, that he was there to help me if I were to just let him in and respect what it was that he does, it changed the entire game. Right. And then therefore, I now believe, and I honestly believe this, you don't have to like a person to respect them. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. I think in marriages, particularly when you're talking about building business, there are some areas of disconnect that husbands and wives are having, or spouses or significant others. And they're saying, really what you're saying is, I don't respect your leadership. That's what you're saying.
Right. I don't value you.
I don't value
you in that area. And the traditional roles in marriage, is that the man's the leader, the 50s role is that the man is the leader. He's the head. He runs everything in the household. But today you have women that are college educated. You have women that are out here that have careers. And so they have developed their own strengths. Yep. And so if you don't take advantage of the areas that are their strength and let them contribute that to your household hurts. And
you're the fool, to be very honest.
Right. Like in our situation, I'm extremely good when it comes to numbers. And so if Glenn were the traditional man, he's like, I'm running the house, I'm doing everything, we'd be homeless because he doesn't manage money well.
Absolutely.
But because of my organizational skills, because of my attention to detail, he lets me handle those things.
Yep. I get out of her way.
And notice I use the word let's.
You did that on purpose.
I did that on purpose.
Ooh, ladies, y'all need to hear that.
Because
say that
even
again.
Though I lead in that area, he still is the head of the household. And so there's still an order here, but it's not a lording over.
Right.
We work together as a team. I'm the CFO. He's the CEO.
Right.
Of our household.
We're on the same team.
We're both in leadership position. There are times when I'm having the board meeting.
Yep.
I'm leading the meeting because I'm discussing the area that I'm over. But, when we're dealing with operational stuff or other things, he's over that. And so we work together as a partnership. And I think that's the thing that's missing in many relationships, is that people don't look at their relationship as a partnership. Yes, we understand it's a covenant. Yes, we understand there's a commitment. But if you don't view your partner as a partner,
you're going to have problems.
As somebody that's walking alongside you, that's working alongside you.
Yep.
Then you're going to have difficulty, especially if you do decide to go into business. If one of you wants to start a business, if you can't master that in just your marriage,
wow,
it's going to be very difficult to do that when you get into a business together.
Wow. Listen, really quickly, just want to shout out a couple of people who are jumping in the room. Hey, Shanice. Shanice says, I love this.
Hey,
Danae, thanks for jumping in. Linwood, thanks for jumping in. Danae said, great morning, y'all. Sheri, glad to see you. Yeah, she's not 100%. I kind of am feeling like she is, but the 85% that she rocking with, she's giving up 100% of that, guys. And so I'm just grateful to have my partner. Babe, you talked about something that I think that bears repeating. And I think that people need to understand. Guys, please understand that fundamentally your marriage should be a partnership.
Right.
And if you understand what a partnership is, that means that everybody brings something to the table. Here's the thing that, babe, I realize, and I tell people all the time, when I think you and I were married prior, that's no secret, right? In us being married prior to each other, one of the things that we have come to the conclusion is that your temperament and Deidre, my ex-wife's temperament, is the exact same.
Yes.
So for the most part, temperamentally and as how you think, how you process, is the same.
Right.
So for all intents and purposes, I married the same woman again in terms of her makeup and how she processes information, how she thinks, and how she kind of moves through life on some levels. And would that be accurate?
Right. And I could say the same even of my exes. Especially, I could say that even of my exes, you're very similar to them in a lot of ways. But the difference.
Go ahead, please help us, because I just messed up some ladies right there.
Right. The difference is
that's what I want to deal with. What is the difference now? Because I couldn't make that work. 12 years of that.
Right.
I couldn't make it work.
Right. I think the difference is that for you, I mean, you learn to appreciate and accept my strengths. You learn to appreciate that and see that it was beneficial to you instead of seeing it as, I'm not like you. And so you want to just be around people that are like you. You didn't want somebody that was going to, that rub, the Bible talks about iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
You need that friction in order for anything to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the things that I want you guys to understand, and do me a favor, tag somebody who is married, tag somebody who's in a partnership, tag someone who is in business, trying to do business. One of the things that we get often is, how do you guys make it work? How do you do things on a high level where, quite frankly, we are, a profitable company? We are generating revenue month after month after month. Our business after 3 years has been successful. It didn't start out that way, but as we've built it and we've matured it, it's become that. But it's also a reflection of our marital partnership. Does that make sense, babe? And so I want you guys to pose your questions. If you have any questions, anything that you want to share, anything that you're thinking about, I'd like to be able to help you guys, because we've done some things that we didn't know what we were doing, I think, in the beginning. I think we just kind of tried a bunch of stuff, and then we recognized that once we identified the areas of each other's strengths and we started playing to that, we started winning on a very, very high level. Shanice says, gotta have each other's back. Absolutely. Right. Partnership. I love it. I love it, Danae. Your relationship is the partnership. And when we talk about partnership, everybody brings a significant part to the table, and nobody wants to play in a sandbox with someone who's hogging all the toys.
Right. And I think if you look at, if you're looking to start a business and you're looking to get partners to go into your business, it has to be a win-win. There has to be something, everybody's going to win something. There's something advantageous. I'm going to get something, you're going to get something for it. And I'm not saying that you should look at your marriage or when you're dating a person from a perspective of, what am I going to get out of this, per se. But in a sense, you should. And when I say that is if you're not married, to those of you that aren't married, you're out here, you're dating, you're looking, your goal is to get married one day. Yeah. You do have to evaluate, what does this person bring to the table?
100%.
How is this going to be beneficial to me?
100%.
How can I benefit them?
Yep.
What is it what am I bringing to the table? Because if I'm not bringing nothing to the table, is it fair for me to get with somebody that's bringing 100% to the table and I ain't bringing 5 cents?
When you say fair, babe, one of the things I hear you saying is, manage your expectations. In other words, too many of us are coming to a relationship with an expectation that, quite frankly, is not even attainable. It's not achievable. And when I say that, like in relationship, you are expecting, if you start a business with your spouse, or the fact that you're starting a business and you just want your spouse's support. I think that unfortunately what happens is there is an assumption that person is just going to willy-nilly support them on every level, which is code for, you are going to agree with me. I want to blow that out the water right now. Listen to me, guys. Let that breathe. Many times what you guys are asking for, and you're calling it support, but what you're really asking for is for somebody to just blindly agree with you. And I'm going to tell you, A, it ain't healthy, and B, it is not sustainable.
Right.
And C, the last thing is you don't want that.
Right.
I don't want a person that completely agrees with every idea, everything.
Like.
No, I don't need that in my life. You get what I'm saying? Because
right.
You said something about iron sharpening iron. It's that rub,
that
friction that creates fire and it creates momentum.
Right. And I think that in relationships, especially when you're talking about business, you need your partner to be able to question.
Yes.
You to one of you has, okay, so one of you is the dreamer. So usually the person that wants to start the business is the dreamer. You need someone who is more logical, that's going to have, that's not so attached to it that they can see it from the outside looking in. And they can ask you the hard questions. You know, so you're talking about investing $1,000 in this. So what is the return on that? When will we see a return on that? You know,
will we receive
a return on that? Versus just saying, okay, here, take $1,000, go do what you want to do. It's okay.
Or
now, if you got it like that.
No, I take that, babe. I would have to disagree with, in other words, even if you quote got it like that, and I have $1,000 just waste and spend and try or quote gamble. Here's the challenge. The challenge is if you gamble on something that does not have the upside that it needs in order to bring back, you're taking a risk that may not be worth taking. Here's the challenge. I'm not saying you don't take the risk. I'm saying you take a calculated risk.
Right.
That's why I need you to give me support, real support, by saying, here's what I think.
Right.
Here's if it were me, here's what I was doing. We had somebody we just coached just recently where it was a spouse and he wants to do some things in business. And he just thinks that, you know, quite frankly, he should just get the money from the household to be able to just launch a business and do some things to see if it's going to work. And my question to him is, how do you know it's going to work? And his response was, I don't. And so, and my question to him at that particular point was, and you expect your wife to just blindly support that with the finances of y'all's household, and you have no clue as to how it's going to work? He said, yeah, because I need her support. And I told him that was faulty thinking.
Right. And even when I was saying, you know, if you have it to, if you had the money to blow, say you got $1,000 you can blow, that runs short. And you may say, okay, I'm gonna give it to you. Just go ahead.
Do what you do.
Just do what you do. Know that if that does not work, that she's gonna be feeling some type of way. Now, it may not be about the money. So the money may not be the issue.
Right.
And that's the point I was trying to go to. The money itself may not be the issue, but it's a level of confidence that you need to have in each other. It's a level of trust that you have in each other. If I just go take $1,000 and just go blow it, even if we have it for me to go blow it, I'm not building confidence in him that what it is that I'm trying to do is really worthwhile. And so he may say, okay, I'm not worried about you losing the money, but why are you doing this? You're not, what is the purpose? Because there's nothing coming out of it. You know
what? I just thought about it, Sheri, and I don't know if you guys agree, or if maybe you can chime in, thumbs up. Yes, you agree. Thumbs down, you don't. And that is, when I produce, it builds your confidence.
Right. Yes.
In other words, if I come to you and say, hey, babe, I have an idea. This is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about doing A, B, C, D, and E. And you don't agree. But you say, you know what? It's a calculated risk. We could lose that and it not kill us. Go try it. When I produce results, that produces confidence in you, or produces from you confidence in me that I am who I say I am, and I can pull off what I say I can pull off. And so that trust grows. Yes?
Right. That's true. And that production doesn't necessarily equate to a monetary gain. That production results in my seeing him do the work. My seeing that he's not just sitting around the house chilling all day talking about I'm working my own business. You know, that production,
and you
is
know
me
people
seeing
be doing that.
His production is me seeing him do the work.
Business.
Me seeing him actually getting out here and grinding and doing what it is he's saying he's going to do. You know, you got a lot of people that say, I'm gonna quit my job, I'm gonna stay home, I'm
gonna fire my boss,
I'm gonna stay home and do my own thing.
Right. They got their business cards
and they ain't doing nothing.
They got their website. They got their social media pages. Springer but you sitting around.
What's your girl? How you doing?
Right.
On TV all day, but you ain't doing nothing.
And see, here's the part.
You ain't cold calling.
Here's the challenge, babe. Here's the challenge. And then therefore the grind tells on you.
Right.
Because you can't cheat the grind.
Right, because eventually, I mean, there should be something. Did you connect? Did you meet with anybody today?
Right.
Did you talk to anybody today?
Absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
I sent out some emails.
And I'm just waiting on people to call me back.
So you waiting for business to come to you.
Is that what we doing?
That's how business works?
Guys,
open a storefront. Don't put up no sign. Don't do no marketing. Don't do nothing.
But we make a mean pound cake though.
They gonna come to us.
We make a mean pound cake though.
You build it and they will come.
I'm trying to tell you, baby, that's my grandmother's recipe. And they gonna come up in here. Guys, listen, let me tell y'all something. And Shanice, y'all laughing. I love it. I love it. I love it. Danae said that building trust, building confidence in one another. Yes. Love that. And I think that what happens is, guys, once you begin to do that, sharpening equals growth. So true. Linwood said, y'all are talking our language. I know it. Shout out to our MAPS masterclass, because their people, Linwood and Danae, are prime examples of it, where we have them in a masterclass. We're teaching and we're training them how to work together for one express purpose, that they would produce and that they would be successful. And when you produce and you're successful, I promise you, two things happen. The people you serve win.
Right.
And then you, as a business, as a couple, as a group, as a team, you also win.
Right. I wanted to this is confession time. True confessions of the Brooks.
True confessions. Uh-oh.
So a number of years back, I decided that I wanted to go into real estate. Boy. I had mentioned it to Glenn. Y'all
better stop everything you're doing, because this one is good.
That I wanted to go into real estate. So we agreed I would take the real estate class, get my real estate license, so on and so forth. So did that, got my license, was doing it part-time, went to work one day, was like, I'm done with this. I'm going to do this full-time. Now, know that when I was doing it part-time, I wasn't doing anything.
Wasn't making no money.
I just had my license.
Right.
Let's just say this. I just had my license. I was with a realtor.
Yeah.
I was under a broker, but I wasn't doing nothing.
Right. Wasn't producing jack.
Wasn't doing nothing. I couldn't call.
Right. She couldn't figure it out.
I couldn't do nothing. I'm on the phone like
right.
Getting rejection after rejection, just because I hadn't figured that out.
Meanwhile,
so I decided,
back at the ranch,
right?
You decide.
I decided. I went into work one day and was like, forget this. I'm putting in my notice. I'm gonna do this full time, because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to make this work, if I do it full time.
Lord Jesus. That's making me
making my heart hurt
and
tell Glenn, I quit my job.
And I was like, what? Look, guys, y'all have to understand. My whole world came crashing. I said, you did what? And
so he wasn't happy.
Y'all, it was more than that. We're not even gonna go back to that conversation, because that pisses me off thinking about it to this day. Right. I have to go back and get with Jesus. You get what I'm saying? Because I was messed all the way up. Go ahead, babe.
Right. And so once I quit the job, because I put in my notice, once I left my job, I was now faced with the reality that I had to do something, something that I was not equipped to do. Because at that point, you
didn't have any momentum.
I didn't have any momentum. I didn't have the skills necessary to do it, and I basically threw myself in the fire and didn't have to.
Yeah.
Now, I started grinding slowly, and eventually, I did start to produce. But there was a much easier way to do that, and I could have done it with. Now, this is the really dumb thing on my part. This guy right here.
What guy you talking about?
This guy right here.
Oh, me.
Mr. Salesman Extraordinaire that could sell you a bridge, not over any water. I had the ultimate teacher right beside me, but I didn't go to him.
Say that again.
I didn't ask him.
Please say that.
I didn't seek his guidance.
God bless America.
To help me in the areas where I was weak. I was organized. I was structured. I could show you how
the spreadsheets.
I could do.
It was all worked out.
I could do all that part, but when the people person, I didn't have down. I didn't know how to negotiate a deal.
Right.
I didn't know those things. Those were the areas that I needed to grow in.
Right.
I didn't have that.
Right.
I had it, but I didn't use it because I didn't see him as my partner in that, and that's because I cut him out of the process when I jumped out there without him being in agreement with it.
Y'all better hear that, Sheri. You gotta be quiet. You gotta let that breathe. You got to be correct. Mike Cullen is cracking up right now. Linwood is saying, ooh. Joseph is crying. He's sad for us. Shanice is saying, you know what? This is hilarious. Karen, I know it. Let me tell y'all what wasn't funny. What wasn't funny was knowing that I could help her and that she did not trust my wisdom enough to come to me because she allowed her pride to get in full vent or on the throne, if you will, to dictate her pace. When pride dictates your pace, you will absolutely come to ruin. It's not a matter of if, it's when. I want y'all to hear that again. When pride dictates your pace, the steps you take, how fast, how slow, whatever it is, you are on your way to destruction. It's not if, it's when. And the day that you decided, because you had to decide that. I couldn't beat that into you. I couldn't just, I'm going to give you advice. I'm going to tell you what your problem is. I couldn't do that because that wasn't working either.
Right.
And guys, you have to understand, I am angry. I'm heated at this particular point because now, you know, obviously our bottom line is affected. I'm feeling some type of way because I'm thinking our communication is better than that. Many of you guys are trying to build a business on a faulty family foundation. You're trying to build a public thing on the foundation of something faulty privately. Y'all not worked out. Y'all don't have your stuff in order. And so that day that you decided, you know what? I'm coming to you. And it's funny because from that day really on, like you really not only relish, but you would ask me, hey, I remember times now in the corporate sector, you come to me and say, I got a presentation I'm getting ready to do. Here's the group of people I'm talking to. How would you approach this? And I would ask you a litany of questions and you would sit down, with paper and pen and pad and take notes.
Right.
And literally be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And then I would say, hey, do me a favor. Let me know how that worked, how that went.
Right.
And we would perfect it. And so it then got to the place where, you know, the top people in your company are saying, hey, we want Sheri to present this on the behalf of the company, because your skill set. Guys, it's because when you recognize who is strong in what area, you use it and double down on your strengths. The moral of this entire thing is, and I want you guys to hear this loud and clear. If you are struggling to lead, if you're struggling to serve, if you're struggling to build, it's because you've not identified the strengths in your relationship. And I need you guys to understand that the minute you do that, the whole game changes.
Right. We got a question. Linwood asked, so Glenn, what did you do to grow through the difficulty and regain the trust and cooperation?
Whoa, that's a good question, Linwood. What did I do to regain the trust in order to grow through?
What did you do to grow through?
What did I do to grow through the difficulty to regain that trust? I think, first of all, I had to be very honest with her and with me. I was devastated. I was floored. I was, I was angry. I was more than bothered and angry. I was hurt, I think. And I was disappointed that she could make such a call to put our family in a position without even consulting me. So for me, what did I do? I had to strip everything down. On a practical level, there were some things that came off of your plate because we couldn't trust that you were going to make the right call. Right. So as much as you ran the finances in our home in that season, I started doing that.
Right. During that season. Yes.
Because she was making some crazy decisions and we couldn't understand why. And when we really boiled it down, the idea was that you just weren't feeling or being fulfilled on your job and you were seeking fulfillment.
Right.
And so if you ask the question, what did I do? I slowed everything down. We had several conversations over time, not about what you did or not about why you did what you did, but what's going on with you. And I tell people all the time that many cases, guys, we're asking, well, why did you do that? And why would you do that? Why would you say that? Instead of what? So the questions aren't why, they're what. What is going on in you that would cause you to react that way? And so we started dealing with that and we started stripping that down. I think we probably even went to counseling around that subject, or we got a coach or something, but we started putting in tools, guys, so that we could communicate better. And that was the challenge. The challenge is our communication was off.
Right. And in order for me to regain trust and reestablish cooperation with him, I had to start being honest. I had to open up and share with him what was really going on with me. And I had to become accountable to him.
That A word go again. You cussing people out all over. Hey, Keisha, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in the room.
Right. I had to be accountable, which meant I had to let him know what was going on with me.
Yep.
I mean, day to day, especially once I left my job and I'm doing this full time, you know, he would check in with me like, so what did you do today? How many calls did you make today? Did you go out? Did you go to the office today? You know,
right.
You know, first couple of weeks I was staying in the house. He was like, you need to go to the office. You need to be in the office at least twice a week. And so I had to submit to his leadership in this area, because the truth of the matter was this was his area of strength. And I was trying to flow in something that wasn't my strength. And so I had to submit to him and be willing to follow his leadership in this area and let him guide me, because it's like, I'm out here now.
Yep.
You know, and so I got to figure something out.
Yep.
You know, you know, so it was my being able to I had to humble myself. That was the bottom line. I had to humble myself and admit to him, you know, I acted rashly.
Yep.
That, you know, I had been complaining about my job. I wasn't feeling fulfilled, and I got fed up.
Mm-hmm. And you did that out of frustration.
I did it out of frustration. It wasn't, you know, personal.
Yep.
But it was personal because it affected, you know, our household. It affected our kids. It affected us.
Absolutely.
And so I had to humble myself and be willing to own up to that.
Guys, real quick, I just wanted, while we got people in the room, here's what I want to do, guys. We are launching in first quarter 2019 what we're calling the MAPS Masterclass Intensive. A couple of people on the line who are, if you're a MAPS Masterclass member, I can't even get the word out, partner, member, teammate. I just want you to put MMC in the chat. Put MMC in the chat. Shout out to all of my MMC colleague. I like that word. Put it in the chat. Let me tell you why this is important. If you are a counselor, if you are a relationship coach, if you are a social worker, if you are a person who really loves adding value, maybe you're a ministry worker and you're adding value to marriages, parents, blended families, couples, singles, anything relative to relationships, and you want to do that on a high functioning level, and you want to be able to generate revenue at doing it consistently month after month after month, I can teach you how to do that. We can teach you how to do that. We can teach you how to build the systems to automate a lot of the things that you're doing. We can teach you how to show up consistently. We do that in our MAPS Masterclass, and we really want you to go to thecrcoach.com. Somebody go ahead and put that in the chat for us, www.thecrcoach.com, because we want to help y'all figure this out. One of the things that I think that is super challenging for most people is that they think something is wrong with saying that something's wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Your challenge when you came off your job was the right call would have been, babe, I am sitting on my job unfulfilled every day and it's killing me. Right. That's a conversation that should happen. Right. It should happen prior to us executing on anything in the way of you leaving or you. I'm feeling like I like this real estate thing. I think I could make a real go of it. How could we plan for me to do this full time? Because at this point, what I'm doing over here isn't fulfilling my needs. And I'd like to be able to do that. I watch what you do. I'm inspired by what you do. You seem fulfilled. Like that's the kind of conversation. Well, guys, until you find yourself in community with people who think and talk that way, oftentimes you will continue to make what I call missteps. And I really want to help you. And so we got a bunch of, I love it. I love it. I love it. And
and speaking about, just real quick, for the masterclass, for the upcoming class in January, right now, if you register now, you will get the discounted rate. But the price goes up actually in November. And so if you register before November, I'm not sure the exact date, but when you go to the site, you'll see it. You'll actually get in at the discounted rate. For this actually current class,
what the current class go up, it's going to go up because we're going to be expanding it.
Class, so it's going to go up in November.
So much more value that we're going to be. As a matter of fact, the people who came through in the first class are going to be probably a little jealous because we didn't think of these things and or we weren't in a position to deliver on all these things. But the good news is that we do have ways to retain you and make sure that you stay connected to us so that you can continue to grow once you start your business. Guys, this is all about working together. Hey, Fanny, thanks for jumping on. I appreciate you, sis. Excited about the opportunity to get the chance to work with you guys really, really soon. But at the end of the day, if we ain't tight, our business ain't tight. Right. If we ain't right, our business ain't right. If we ain't right in our private lives, publicly, stuff is going to be bad. And I think that people don't understand that your success publicly has everything to do with what you do privately. You cannot cheat the grind. You cannot cheat spending time doing the work. You cannot cheat personal development. I can't give you what I don't have. Sheri can't bless you with these stories and how she's changed if she's not actually executed on that. So I want you guys to stop trying to figure stuff out by yourself. Recognize that, listen, I've been prideful. I've been trying to do this on my own. I don't know what I'm doing. Here's how you know you don't know what you're doing. You're not producing consistently. That's how you know. As a husband, if I'm not producing in my family consistently, I'm doing something wrong.
Right. And I mean, the fruit will speak for itself. And so whatever you're investing your time in, whatever you're truly investing, if you're investing in your marriage, if you're investing in your partnership with your spouse, it's going to look like something. And if it's not looking like, if it's not growing, then you guys there's a disconnect somewhere. You know, even in business. And that's our
job to help find that and help you fix that.
Even in business, you know, traditionally, let's say, you know, you start a business, the first 3 years, you're going to be in the red. You know, you should lose money. You're not going to gain any money. Well, we've been able to defy that. And within 2 years, we're able to double our income in 2 years. So within 2 years.
And it will double again by next year. In other words, you know, because each year we're trending that we're doubling what we produced the year before. And I think it's because we're solid at our foundational level.
And I think it's setting realistic expectations. I think people often go into this thing and you have these grand ideas of what you're going to do.
And it ain't real. It ain't found on nothing solid.
And
Alycia asks a question. I really want to grab it before we get out of here, because we got a coaching session coming up here in a little bit. Alycia says, finding your rhythm as a couple in business when you have different work styles. How do you do that? Ooh, Alycia, that's a great question. Great friend of ours. They are great coaches in their own space. As a matter of fact, her and her husband and Sheri and I, we're going to be doing some things on a collaborative level in 2019. Super excited about that. But this is a real pain point for many people, Alycia, and that is you guys are, there can't be anybody whose work styles are any more different than ours. Am I right? I mean, we are chalk and cheese. Like, they have nothing to do with each other, right? How do we establish the rhythm amid our differences, babe?
Well, I think one thing that we do is that we set aside a time where we do come together. We work, I mean, even though I work outside of the home, I also work on our business as well. But there are times.
And I'm working inside the home full time on our business.
But there are times that we come together, and it's usually like once a week, where we sit down together and kind of just game plan, you know, what's going on. His process to me makes, I couldn't function the way that he functions. But it works for him.
Please say it louder, baby.
But it
people
works.
Are hurting, right?
It works for him. The way that he processes, and the truth is that,
give some examples, because just people probably don't get it real quick.
So Glenn, he's in his office during the day, and you know, especially me being home the last couple of weeks, I've really been able to kind of see how his process works. He's in his office most of the day. He has his music on. He's walking around. To me, when you're at work, you're at your desk, you're doing what you're doing. I work on one project, I finish that. Then I go on to the next thing, I finish that. That's the way that I work. Glenn will start on one thing, jump over to something else, jump back to this, jump over to this. To me, he's all over the place. But it works for him, and somehow he keeps track of that. I don't know how, because it drives me crazy. But when we get together that once a week and we sit down, he's able to tell me, okay, well, I did this. I got this done this week. I got this done. I'm working.
This is where I'm going.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Because to me, it looks crazy, because I'm like, you know, even me being home when we're talking, with me having been home the last couple of weeks, he'll engage me during the day and he'll start talking about one thing, then it's something else, then it's something else, then it's something else. And I'm like, this is just too much. How do you keep up with that? Right. But he has whiteboards in his office. So any of you that have seen his videos, he tracks himself, all his ideas, because he's the dreamer. He's the visionary. So he gets all these ideas, all the stuff that comes, and he just keeps track of it. And so to answer your question, Alycia, I think it is, you have to accept that you have different work style.
Yep, absolutely.
One, he's not going to work like you. You're not going to work like him. Number one. But I think that the key is going to be that you guys have got to have a time where you guys come together.
Yep.
And it's you're having a weekly a staff meeting. You have a weekly staff meeting. You sit down and be like, okay, what are you working on this week? This is what I'm working on. Then next week you get together. Okay, so where are you on your projects? Where am I on my projects?
Absolutely.
I don't need to understand how you could be in your office doing handstands. I don't care if that's getting the work done. If you go run around the block and you won't making your calls while you out running. Right. It doesn't matter to me as long as it gets done.
So let me help you out, Alycia, and anybody else who has that question. Mark, thanks for jumping in the room. I appreciate it. So many of you guys are jumping in the room. Oh, by the way, Karen said that the prices for the next masterclass will increase on November the 15th. Thank you for posting that, Karen. If you guys are interested in jumping in, our MAPS masterclass specifically designed for people who want to add value to people who are growing their relationships in a very healthy and a very functional way. But you want to do this as a business, part-time, full-time, it doesn't matter. And you want to be profitable. We have a masterclass where we can absolutely help you. And we would love that. I'm going to get to Camille's question in one quick second.
I was going to answer, did we just answer it?
Yep. Just one second. But one thing I do want to add, guys, and this is to opposing for Alicia's suggestion. She tagging Mike Cullen. Guys, let me tell you something that she said that bears repeating. Sheri had to get to the place to where she was not willing to pay attention to my style and allow that to draw her off of her style. In other words, there was a certain degree of acceptance that she had to come to where she says, you know what, here's what I know. His style is what it is. Part of it, and we don't even have time to go into this. This is something that we're going to be doing in our next masterclass, where we're going to break down your temperaments and we're going to teach you why you do the things you do the way you do and how to offset them. We do that very, very well because we have a clear understanding and acceptance of who each other is and what we do. I'm going to say that again. We have a very clear understanding. I know how my wife processes and I fully accept it. Mm-hmm. My first wife, that wasn't the case. I knew or began to know how she processed. I would never accept it because I wanted her to be more like me. So for you guys who are working together, there has to be a degree of acceptance that comes in the room where you're saying, I'm not going to judge it. I'm just going to rock with it. Because here at the end of the day, here's what you judge. You judge the production. You don't judge the process. Right. I'm going to say that again. You judge the production. You do not judge the process. I don't get to judge her process. Right. Right. What I do get to judge is what she produces. If her process isn't producing, I get to speak to that. Right. Does that make sense?
Right. And I think that a lot of times
I didn't plan to go into all that.
That's okay.
Y'all pulled it out of me.
I think the problem with this is that we're taught from school. We're taught in corporate America that you're supposed to learn the same in school. Everybody's supposed to learn the same. In a corporate environment, everybody's supposed to work the same. But the truth of the matter is each of us has our own strengths. Yep. And in institutionalized work and institutionalized school, you're taught to focus on your weakness. If you're weak in this area, you got to be stronger in this area because everybody else is doing it this way.
You need to get that worked out.
Instead of allowing people to focus on their strength.
Yeah.
So Glenn is creative. That's his strength.
Yep. Somebody put it in the chat.
He is the creator. He is the visionary. He comes up with the ideas. Yeah. He's the dreamer. Yeah. He's the mouthpiece for all intents and purposes. He's the one that's going to go out. Like I said, he's the salesman. He's going to go out. He's going to negotiate. He's going to figure all that out. For me, I'm the logistical person. If you want me to go wooka somebody and get a deal done,
they're not from DC. What does wooka mean? Jesus. Y'all hear that Southeast DC come out?
You want me to go negotiate a deal
and go back and forth.
And go back and forth with somebody. And go back and forth with somebody. That's not going to happen. Because typically what's going to happen with me, I'm going to share this great idea with you. Right. You're going to give me some pushback. I'm going to get pissed off because I'm like, do you not hear what I'm saying?
Right. This is going to revolutionize the world.
Do you not understand? I'm not, that's not me. That's right. Just, now I can get up and speak and share with people now, but that part, that's not me. Yeah, that's just not me. And so if you want me to operate in that, we're not going to get very far. We're not going to deal with it. So I operate in my area of strength, which is the logistical part. I handle all of the logistics. I handle the even when we write together. Yeah. I do the structure.
Yeah. I don't structure books. That's why I don't
structure the book. I do all of that part. Even I remember the first book we did together, we wrote that completely separate from each other.
We couldn't stand each other's presence long enough. Right.
But now we've learned we could even write together.
Absolutely. It's beautiful to watch, actually.
Right. It took time. But so you have to appreciate each other's strength and let each other flow in your own individual strength.
Right.
And then you come together, you bring those two strengths together.
Yeah.
And then you'll have a great thing.
Guys, let me just say this, and we have got to go. Y'all got me all off course. I'm laughing at Mike and Alycia. They up in Maryland. Wooka, wooka. Look. Mike is like, that is Southeast for sure. Guys, let me just say this really quickly because we got to run. But if you are challenged, and maybe you have a thriving business and you just need to be coached up, go to the crcoach.com. Let us know. Sign up for a free assessment. We just want to talk to you. We just want to figure out if we can help you, because I'm going to promise you, I can't help everybody. But when I do find people that I can help, I'm all in. I am absolutely all in. And so we want to help you guys. We want to be there for you. Go to the crcoach.com. If somebody can put that in the chat, www.thecrcoach.com. If you just need some coaching in the way of figuring out how to work best together. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I would do without Breakfast with the Brookses, like my wife more cartoons when I was a kid. Craig, you stupid. I'm not talking. Craig is dumb. I'm not messing with him. So guys, listen, we love you. We appreciate you. We love every opportunity we have to come. Again, go to www.thecrcoach.com.
You can learn more information about the MMC,
all the stuff that we're doing,
events,
our stuff, everything, maps. You want to join, whatever you want. Go there, and I promise you, do me a favor. Also, please, if you're not already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just stop what you're doing and subscribe today, because we've got some things that we're getting ready to drop on the area of boundaries. That's going to be fire. And I'm really waiting. Truth be told, we're at 80 subscribers. I'm going to drop that content when we get to 100. That's the truth. And so I'm waiting for a significant group of people, and I'm going to train our masterclass people today. We got a training set aside today on why I do things that way. There's a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing the way I'm doing it. So I want you guys to be a part of that. But please do that. Tiara said, let me go talk to my husband about this MMC. I know that's right. Come on in. Because here's what I know, y'all already doing that work. Yep. We just trying to help you get paid for what all of that energy you putting up. Danae, you absolutely correct. We all need some help. Karen, thank you for posting that. Tiara is laughing. I love you guys. Y'all are sweet. I love y'all. The crcoach.com, guys. Go back to that real quick. Camille says, wait, you know what, okay, Camille?
Let's go back to you, bro.
I love it. Wait, did I miss it? Did you both answer the question? Okay, so let's do this. We're going to scroll down real quick, Camille, because we didn't got off course. I very much wanted to answer your question. Let me go back and make sure that we did. Hold on. We're going to scroll back.
She tuned in.
Okay, so she said first timer and tuned in right on time. My husband and I are complete opposites too, but we work together and support one another without getting in the way and becoming a pain. Now, I don't know if we answered that question, Camille, because we kind of went into that right around the time you dropped that. That was part of the reason why I wanted to go back and answer that. Just do me a favor really quickly, and I'm going to stay right here until you answer. Thumbs up if we helped you, or thumbs down if I didn't answer that question. Because if I didn't, I want to. Okay, so shout out to you for coming on our live for the very first time. We want to show you mad love, even though we're about to get off here. I want to make sure that you get squared away and get taken care of. Thumbs up if we already answered the question, and thumbs down if we didn't. And how can we go into more detail and ask that question? Joseph said, MMC is the place to be. I know that's right. Love you guys. I appreciate it. Danae says, y'all better not miss out on this MMC opportunity. Guys, we're adding value to people who add value to people. That's what we do. And I want to make sure that you guys get a chance to do that. I don't know if our girl is still on the line, but I want to make sure that Camille, wait, did I miss it? No, okay, I thought that was it. Just want to make sure that you got your question. And always blessing listening to you guys. Thank you, Tika. I appreciate it.
She said, can you please repeat the answer? Okay, so basically, Camille,
go ahead.
I think, okay, your question is, you got, how do you stay out of each other's way and not kill each other, basically. I think it goes back to appreciating and understanding what each other's strengths are and allowing each other to operate in your own individual strengths.
Right.
And then being able to come together, set aside a time when you guys come together where basically you have a staff meeting.
Yep.
You come together once a week and game plan and figure, okay, this is what I'm working on. This is what you're working on. Don't worry about their process on how they get the work done as long as they're producing. The issue is that if I'm saying I'm doing A, B, C, and D, and we come back next week and I haven't done A, B, C, and D, at that point in time, then we need to look at, okay, is there some way that I can help you?
Yep.
Is there something, maybe you just focus on A, what's going on? Because apparently your process isn't working because you're not able to address these issues.
You said something really key, guys. You got to pay attention to the process. That's why I said, you have to pay attention. Let me just say it this way. You have to pay attention to the process to see what is it producing, because if the process isn't producing, the process is broken.
Right.
As much as it may be my process, it's the way I do things, it's broken if it's not producing. That's why I keep telling you, that's why I said earlier, you don't judge the process, you judge the production.
Right.
So Camille, what I will say, if you guys ever need to kind of chat it up, I'd love to kind of find out specifically what's going on with you.
Right.
Do me a favor, sign up for a quick free 30-minute session with us. No strings attached. They ain't trying to sell you nothing. I just want to make sure I'm helping. I'm sort of sensitive to the first timers because we had nobody when we started out, and I'd love to have you do that. Thank you both.
Thank you, Camille.
We'll tune in next week. Love it, and see if you can join the masterclass.
We'd love to have you.
We'd love to have you. Absolutely love to have you, Karen. Taylor and I are about to get on up to Maryland. Listen, shout out to Rick and Lacey. Yeah. Send our love. We couldn't make that trip this weekend. But we certainly send our love to those guys, and we're super excited about their growth and all that good stuff. Guys, how to serve, lead, and build with your spouse. It's significant. It's possible. I want to tell you right now, we're doing it every single day. We're not in here killing each other. As a matter of fact, we're thriving, and we're helping other people to win while we're doing it. I'm trying to tell you right now, it works. At the end of the day, if you are trying to get to some place of significance, hear me clearly, guys. Hear me clearly. You cannot get there by yourself. Mm-hmm. Hear me clearly. You cannot get to any place of significance by yourself. If you try, I'm telling you on the front end, you are not going very far, because at the end of the day, we keep trying to tell everybody we all need some help. We got to get out of here, guys. Y'all be good. We'll talk soon.
Bye.